Good morning. Jackie Broman here for Join Jackie Mondays at 10. Happy Monday. So I do this live every Monday. All the videos get saved onto the page as well. So there's actually a huge resource here in Facebook on our videos tab on our page. Great place to start if you or someone you know has a legal challenge, because there's all these snippets of legal information. You can do some research first and then go from there. So if anything is relevant for anyone that you know, please use the resource and share it with them. Today's topic is, drum roll, protecting your children's inheritance from themselves. Now, I'm saying this in context of you have spent your life accumulating some wealth, and you want to make sure that the next generation benefits from it, for sure. But sometimes you might have some doubts. Firstly, it could be because your own adult children are still quite young, or maybe they're not even 18 yet. So yes, you have to protect them from themselves when they're young and their decision-making is not yet ready. Your children could also have poor spending habits, drinking or drug use, gambling problems. So those sorts of habits, you may feel like you need to protect your children's inheritance from themselves in that respect as well. Your children may be vulnerable in other ways. If there's an intellectual disability, they may be vulnerable from other people preying on them if they do end up with money and you're not around. And of course, then, even if your adult children are amazingly capable, they still go through crises in their lives. And so protecting their inheritance if they're going through something like a bankruptcy or a separation is also something to consider. And there's multiple ways we can do all these things. And most of the time, it actually comes down to a form of a trust in a will. So I have done videos before on trusts in wills and testamentary trusts and minors trusts, and that's what we would look for. So with the first problem, if your children are underage or immature, we would automatically set up a minors trust for someone who's under 18, because no one under 18 can inherit anyway. So it's called a minors trust. It's a very simple form of trust where the funds are just looked after for them, and they can be used for their education and upbringing in the meantime. But if you don't think your kids are going to be mature enough at 18, increase the age. My favorite age is 25. You may even think 30 is relevant, 21 sometimes, but you can extend that out until you think your children have each matured enough to then, okay, well, they can now be responsible on average at 25. I think most people have grown a brain. Now, it's a little bit different when someone has some difficult habits in their lives, whether it's drug or alcohol, because that might not be something that is in their life all the time. They may recover at some point, but you can't predict that. And so whether you tie up their inheritance and protect it from them for their whole life, whether you have something that has some discretion, whether you have someone else look after it on their discretion until your child has recovered, there's multiple ways that we can look at it. But in terms of the third problem, when you've got really adjusted, able-bodied adult children, and you just want to make sure that their inheritance is protected from a crisis that's out of their control, then you're looking at a testamentary discretionary trust, because as soon as an inheritance is not in your child's own name, there is an element of asset protection because it's removed from them. So if they're attacked personally on a financial basis, so whether there's a guarantee that they've signed, whether there's a professional negligence issue, whether they're separating, their inheritance is in a separate pot from their own money. So that can be a way as well of protecting your children's inheritance. So there's a few options for you to mull over. If you do want any more information, please direct message us through this page in Facebook. You can email us, admin@tbalaw.com.au, or just go to the website. On the Meet the Team page, you've got my email directly and the email addresses for the other team. So quite welcome to reach out. I can send you some more information. And of course, we can always book in for an initial appointment. So hope it's helpful. Hope you have a great week. Catch you next week.